Hey everyone, welcome back to Minibike Mike's Garage and welcome to the very first video of 2025. Unfortunately, this was not the video that I intended to show you guys today or be the first video of 2025. I posted a few pictures within the last week. Maybe you saw them. I had a candy special yellow CT70 K1 that I had up on the table. And my plans were to rebuild that bike to take out to Moab, Utah in September of 2025. The bike was one of those that I pulled out of Michigan back in April 2024. Well, unfortunately, I've had some issues with the title on that particular bike. First time I've run into this. I don't know if my BMV has changed rules or what, but I did all the paperwork. Everything seemed to be going through just fine. It even showed up on their website that I had a title, but I had not actually received the hard copy, the paper copy of the title. And I got a letter a couple days ago and saying that they had come across an issue. And so I went up and spoke with them. Apparently, we're still working through that. But so, long story short, the yellow K1 that I was going to build for the spring ride and the Moab ride, it's on the back burner right now. I'm not saying it's dead. I'm not going to give myself very good chances of securing a title for that, but we'll see what happens. So in the meantime, a couple days ago, actually, it's probably been a month ago, I had a subscriber reach out to me, and he had this Aquarius Blue Honda SL70. He picked it up. He's up in the Fort Wayne area. John, thank you, John. He's up, like I said, Fort Wayne area, and he picked this up at an auction that I believe was somewhat local to them. I don't know what his plans were for it. I don't know if he was going to redo it and then decided not to, or if he just bought it to flip, or what his plans were. But I paid him a few $100s more than what he paid for it, and I brought it down here as a project. Now, my intentions are not to do a real deep dive into this bike at this moment. We just finished that Honda SL70, which is almost an identical bike, but so that I would have something to bring to you guys for the first video of 2025, I think I'm going to go ahead and let's do a will it run on this. I have not touched this bike. It's about 3 or 4 days later after John dropped it off here at my shop. He and I, we kind of looked at it, but I haven't done anything to it. So I thought I'd wait and bring you guys in. So I think I'll grab a handheld. Let's take a look at it and see what we've got. All right, before we jump into it and see if the thing will fire up, let's just do a real quick walk around, see what it is we have. Now, I've said this in the past. I'm not an SL70 expert. I have had a few of them over the years, but if I misspeak about something here, I truly do apologize. It's never my intent to pass along incorrect information, but I will attempt to, give you guys a little bit of a history as much as I know about the SL70 line. This is a Honda SL70 K0, which is the very first model of the SL70. Honda made two models, the K0 and then the K1, and then they kind of made some changes and called it the XL70 after that. This particular bike is called Aquarius Blue. The K0 came in 3 colors, the Aquarius Blue, Summer Yellow, and I believe the red was called Light Ruby Red, if I'm not mistaken. Now, you're getting the first look of this bike just as I have. Like I said, I unloaded this. Subscriber John brought this down a few days ago, and we unloaded it out of his van and kind of rolled it in here. And we got busy looking around the shop and giving him a tour. I really never even looked at the bike. So you're getting a first look at the same time I am. I did notice when he brought it in, it was mostly complete. The only thing I noticed that might be missing that I believe it should have is a high beam indicator in this bracket right here for the headlight, for the high beam. Other than that, I really don't notice anything that it's supposed to have that it doesn't have. These models came with a couple options that you could get through the dealer. One was a speedometer, and you might have, if you remember my summer yellow SL70, it does have the speedometer. I've had a couple of the SL70 K0s that came with a speedometer, but it is kind of an uncommon item. Supposedly they came with a horn also. Now, I have probably owned 12 to 15 SL70 K0s over the years. I have yet to ever come across one that had a horn, so I believe that to be an extremely rare option if you do get one of those. The speedometer is a little tough, but they are out there. The horns, I've never really seen it. Now, this one looks to have been ridden. Unfortunately, since it doesn't have a speedometer, we don't know what the mileage is on it. The engine does not look like it's been torn apart. Looks like things are in the correct places. I'm not seeing screw heads that are all boogered up like they've been taken apart. It does have the key switch. It does have some dents in the tank, so that tells us that the steering stop right there is broke. Yeah, you can see that. That allows these two pins on each side to come around and lets the handlebars turn too far, and then this part of the fork makes contact with the tank and dents it. This dent is from the top clamp right here coming around and contacting. That's kind of unfortunate. There is a small dent right here where they've put this Sterling Pro sticker. Somebody tell me what Sterling Pro is. John, the guy I got it from, he mentioned that it might have been a helmet brand back in the day. I'm not familiar with it. Never heard of Sterling Pro. So like I said, the engine looks like it's okay. Let's see if it's the original engine. If we can get a number off of it. 7787. And what did we say this was up here? 7467. So I would say that is close enough to be the original engine on this bike. Unfortunately, it's got the standard broken side cases. It looks like all the pins are there, which are good, but it is cracked and broken and held together with some duct tape on the back side. This foot peg looks to have about 10,000 miles on it, doesn't it? Look at that thing. Wow, that is really worn. Is the other one worn that much? No, it's not. Interesting. Wow. Not sure why one side would be so much worn than the other. It's got got the chain guard, all the parts. It must have sat in the dirt for a really long time. Look at that. It rust a hole all the way through the foot on that side stand. Wow. The chain is in rough shape. It's kinked. It's either incredibly tight or it's just rusted in one solid piece. Got the clip going the wrong direction. They've obviously broke off the back, the little fork here for the axle adjuster, and they've welded on an old school square stove bolt nut. That's kind of cool. That'll stay. It's got the original taillight bracket. Those, if you tried to find one of these or price one of these, that might be as expensive as the whole bike. It's got some tape on the seat, but the top looks pretty good. That's not bad. Back tire is shot. Exhaust looks to be complete and not have too many dents. It does have the cover is all beat up, but we'll try and straighten that up maybe a little bit. This side case is also broke. It's actually missing a chunk out of it. Ooh, it's also not attached. That pin is there. All the pins are there. It's just not plugged in. I'm going to leave it out for right now. Oh, we're missing a screw right here. So someone's had the clutch cover off of it. What's this one look like? That one doesn't look bad. Now that one's been boogered. Well, the rest of them don't look too bad. we've got a broken frame. I didn't notice that until just now. You know, I made the comment I wasn't going to do a deep dive on this bike, but I can't sell it like that. So that means at some point down the road, guys, we're going to be tearing this bike all apart because I need to fix that frame to make it right for somebody. Handlebar, I haven't really sat on it. I think it's pretty straight. That would have been where your optional horn button was. It's got the kill, got the high-low. The throttle's not too snappy. It still has the little plastic cover here for the mirror. I bet someone's had a mirror on it at some point because it's missing that one. The dents in a tank on this side aren't as bad as the other. It's got some faded paint from where his leg rubbed up against it while I was riding it. But there we go. Front tire, that's flat. So that's kind of a quick walk around. We're not going to worry about anything today other than let's just see if we can hear the engine fire off. Well, the first step I'm going to take to see if we can get the engine to run is let's see if it even has fire first, or if we need to pull a stator cover off and see if we have to do any work to get spark. Let's hope it's got spark. Looks like a newer-ish plug. Oh yeah, there's fire. I don't know if you guys can see that. You know, wait a minute. You know something? I didn't turn the key on. Key is in the off position and it's got fire. Does it have fire in the first position? Yeah, it does. Huh. Turn the key back off. Well, either the key, something's up with the key switch, or something's up with the wiring to the key switch. Let's see. I'm going to reach up here and turn the kill switch off. Okay, so the kill switch is hooked up, and that does kill spark, so we can shut it off if it does fire up. But obviously, we've got an issue with something in the wiring because it's got spark regardless of what the key position is. All right, I'm going to turn the kill switch off so I don't shock myself. Let's see if it's got any compression. Yeah. It might be down on compression a little bit, but I think it's got enough to get it to fire up. I started to put the plug back in, but let's give it just a little snort of starting fluid here. And see if it even acts like it wants to do anything. All right, before I forget, let's turn the kill switch back on, or off, however you want to turn it to run. Let's say that. All right, let's see if it does anything. Oh, yeah. I thought it hit. No. Oh, there it did. There it did. Okay, so it will run. It hit. I guess the next thing is I'm not even going to take the carburetor off. Let's hook a fuel jug to the carburetor and see what happens. All right, so I got the fuel jug hanging there. Let's see if we can get this old broken line off the carburetor. All right, it still has the spring clip on it. Get rid of that. There we go. Let's see how bad this leaks. I think it's actually I got too big a hose. Okay, I put a different hose on here. The other one was getting so stiff I couldn't get going. Let me see if I can go something a little bit smaller and get that a better fit. All right, I put a different hose now. Let's see what happens. Not seeing any fuel running out right away. All right, I'm gonna go over to the other side. Let's see if it happens to fire up. Yell if you see fire. Okay. Well, okay. Well, that's a start. I think we're going to need a carburetor clean. It'll run on choke. Maybe it won't. Did we lose spark? All right, I'm gonna pull it apart and see if we still have spark. Well, we do seem to still have plenty of spark. So let's. I'm tired of kicking it over. Oh, come off of there. I'm gonna see if I can spin it over with a drill. Oh, got some junk. Let's see, what is that? 17. It wants to. I'm a little worried about that low compression. Oh, started to. What? It looks really clean underneath there. Might have kind of a big gap too. Oh well. Let's see if it'll hit. Oh, got to be really touchy with the throttle. It only wants to run at a certain throttle position. There you go, warm up, baby. Are you idle? Oh, but hey, we heard it run. Yay! I think I may actually play with it. It seems to have a rather large points gap. So I think I'm going to play with that. See if I can't close that up just a little bit, and then we'll try and hit it one more time. Well, I've got the points in a position that I like them a little bit better. Let's take a look and see what we got going on here. That actually feels pretty good. There's oil, so that's good. That means it's pumping oil up there. That one might be a little loose. That one feels pretty good. I might tighten that one up just a skosh. You know what? I think I'll leave it alone. I think we're actually going to, it'll need a carburetor clean. But I think for right now, this is not the time that I want to jump into this particular project. I'm not ready to sell it or move it along either, because it will require a little bit of work. I want to fix that frame. I'm probably going to maybe fix a tire, fix the side cases. Let's see if it'll fire up again. Let's see, turn that on. Not bad. But yeah, the key doesn't. Headlight come on? No, key doesn't do a daggone thing. Oh, that might explain some of it. We've got they've cut off the plug and they put butt connectors here. Okay, let's just tuck that back in there. We'll add that to the list of things that are going to need to be addressed. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. So we know it does run. I didn't run it through the gears, so I have no idea if the transmission is good. And with that, knowing that side case has probably been off there, I probably should have ran it through the gears, but we'll save that for another day. So not going to tear into this project right now. I really want to get started on something that I can build for the spring ride and then take out to Moab. And I'm really looking at something CT70 along those lines, whether it be a clone or an original bike. I'm hoping that the title situation on that candy yellow comes through, but if not, I do happen to have a couple other frames that are already titled that I could pull out and build those. But I was really hoping to save another one of those Michigan bikes and actually put it on the road. So we'll see what happens, but Happy New Year. Thanks for following along in 2024. If you've been with me, if you're brand new, appreciate you guys watching too. So look for this project, I don't know, maybe in a few months down the road. See you guys. Have a great day.